Thank you. Mr. President, I rise to address the Obama-Boehner debt deal, and I must say it's an issue that I have just been immersed in, wrestling to understand the impact on unemployment, the impact on investments that will strengthen our nation down the road, certainly the impact on programs that strengthen our families. And it is in that context of trying to understand how do we build the strongest possible nation for working families. How do we do that? And is this Obama-Boehner debt deal the right path? And I must conclude that it is not the right path. And I conclude that for 4 reasons. The first is the impact on jobs. We are facing a gathering storm on the job front. We have 5 to 8 million additional foreclosures that are suppressing success of our construction market, driving down the value of houses and having a devastating impact on the attempts at recovery. Second, the unemployment benefits, the extended unemployment benefits, expire this year. And the rough estimate is that that will result in a reduction of around 500,000 jobs. That's a tremendous blow in 2012. And then we have the termination of the payroll tax holiday, and the estimate is that may well produce losses of jobs of more than 900,000 across America. Add them up together, and you're talking nearly 1.5 million jobs that we will face, and that's in 2012. So on top of this gathering storm comes the Obama-Boehner debt deal that is estimated to produce another job loss, and by varying estimates, from 100 to 300,000 additional jobs. Mr. President, doesn't this deal take us in the wrong direction? Shouldn't we be on this floor working to create jobs, not to destroy jobs? The success of our families depends on this. My second major reservation about the Obama-Boehner debt deal is its impact on working families through the concentration of cuts on the 18% of the budget that is the non-defense discretionary portion of the budget. This is the portion of the budget that involves Head Start, Pell Grants, in other words, opportunity for our children, our smallest children, success, university education for our college-bound students. It's the area of the budget that involves investments in clean energy, involves our small business programs that support the success of our small business, involves job training that helps families adjust to a changing dynamic in the economy, and so much more. In this 18% of the budget, that is where the cuts will hit. And with the Phase 1 required cuts, or Title I cuts, in combination with the cuts under Title III, you have essentially a 15% cuts from the 2011 March CBO baseline. Now understand that baseline for 2011 is a very low baseline, much lower than 2010, much lower than 2009. It takes us back many years earlier. So you already have a very low baseline, and we're going to cut 15% more out of the core programs supporting the success of our working families, supporting the success of our smallest children, supporting the success of our college-bound children. This is not the path that builds a stronger America. The third factor is that while our children in Head Start and our children headed for college and our citizens seeking job training are going to take these blows, the wealthy and well-connected don't contribute one slim dime. Now, some of my colleagues have argued, well, you know what? There are some of those programs embedded in the tax code that actually help the middle class. My colleague from Utah was just making that argument. And then the argument is extended, so don't touch any of those programs. Well, if we take that same attitude towards our spending programs, we'd say some benefit the middle class. Don't touch any spending programs. Obviously, it's an absurd argument. And why is it made on the revenue side, those programs there, but not on the programs that are in the appropriations bill? Why is the tax bill protected from that, under that argument, but the spending bills are not. No, it's one simple answer. The programs for the wealthy and well-connected are in the tax bill. And so this false argument is used to defend the accumulation of wealth, the expansion of prosperity for the few, for the powerful few, at the expense of families across this nation. My fourth concern about the Obama-Boehner debt deal is that simply it was forged out of a process of extortion. If you look through the editorials, you see words like hostage-taking and extortion and lunacy. And we only have to turn back to Ronald Reagan to remember what he had to say on this. He said, "This brinksmanship threatens the holders of government bonds and those who rely on Social Security and veterans' benefits. Interest markets would skyrocket, instability would occur in financial markets, and the federal deficit would soar. The United States has a special responsibility to itself and to the world to meet its obligations." Those who have threatened, for the first time in the U.S. history, for the U.S. not to meet its obligations, which would result in devastating impact to families across this nation, those who carried out that threat did so in the wrong spirit, not the spirit of America pulling together, but in the spirit of creating a situation of hostage-taking and extortion designed to protect the most powerful and wealthy at the expense of families across this nation. So, Mr. President, because this deal does damage to jobs and contributes to the gathering storm in 2012 that threatens to take us back into a double-dip recession, because the cuts are concentrated on the programs such as education and Head Start and Pell Grants that support the success of our children, success of our future economy, because it doesn't take one slim dime of contribution from those who are most able to contribute in our society, and because it was forged out of a fundamentally inappropriate use of extortion against the American family. For those four reasons, I will oppose this deal. Thank you, Mr. President.
This is Jeff Merkley. I'm sorry no one is available to answer the phone right now. Our regular office hours are 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are receiving this recording during business hours, it means that all of our lines are busy. Please leave a message after the beep and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or you can contact me via my website at merkley.senate.gov. Thank you and have a great day.
Hello, Senator Merkley. This is a constituent, Al Margulies of Northwest Portland, congratulating you for voting no on the debt deal and letting you know that you will have my vote in the next election.